Please confirm if you are able to see my screen. Please confirm if you are able to see my screen and able to hear me. Okay, fine. So let's start. Today we will be discussing about the basic about the HTML. What is HTML, and how we are going to create the HTML web pages. Okay, and what is the necessity of using the HTML and how to use as well. Okay, and some few very basic tags we will see. Okay, so open the presentation. So actually, how many of you know that basic about the HTML? You don't know, no problem. Anyhow, I'm going to discuss. Can anyone, can you please comment it? How many of you know the HTML? Okay, okay. So actually, HTML, as it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is not any programming language, and it is not a scripting language. It is just a markup language where your browser can analyze that, and your browser will understand. Okay, and actually this HTML describes your complete structure of the web pages. Okay, so how your web page should be, what will be the structure? That means where it should be what, where the particular text will be in which place. Okay, and whether it is text or button or what it is. So these type of things will be represented with the help of the HTML in the web pages. Okay, so if you want to build any websites, okay, yeah, it's must and should that HTML is required. Okay, without that HTML we cannot build any websites. Okay, there are a lot of third party these things are there. What do you call, third party vendors are there where we can just drag and drop UI. Like you have WordPress, like that. You have some other websites. From there, you can create your own websites. But internally, they will also use the HTML only. Okay, so this is the basic thing about the HTML. Let's see how to create the HTML web pages, and what are the tags that we can use, what is the structure of the HTML, what is the, what do you call, basic syntax of the HTML. Okay, so let's start from here. So you can see here, this is the basic what do you call, structure or skeleton of the HTML. Okay, so there should be a doc type. I will explain each and everything clearly. So let me just, I am going to create a new folder. You open folder. Okay, here I am going to create a file. So remember, whenever you are going to create a HTML file, so the extension must be .html. Okay, then only your browser will understand that this is a HTML file. Okay, then only your system also recognize that this particular file is a HTML file. I'm just going to create a file called basics1.html. Okay, I have created a simple file called .html, and so this is the basic skeleton or basic structure of the HTML. Let's give a tag. I will explain what is this doc type, what is this HTML, what is body, what is title, meta. I will explain all the tags clearly. Now you can just see the skeleton, how the HTML format or structure should be. Okay. Okay, I am just going to open with the help of the live server. So here you can see that. So we have written something like basics. Sorry, welcome to. Let me write. Welcome to BPIC program. Let me open this side result so that you also it will be easy to understand. You can see here, welcome to BBIC internship program. So this is our first website. Okay, this is your URL, and this is your text whatever we have written. Okay, if I change something like, if I'm going to create something else, very good morning everyone. So see, very good morning everyone. So this is the basic and else you can call this skeleton of the web page. HTML is the skeleton of the web page. So if you want to design anything in the website, it's must and should that HTML should be there. Please do not raise the hands. I'm getting disturbance. Okay, let's see what are the elements were there in the basic HTML structure. Okay, let's see here doc type, right? So before going to discuss this, I will tell you few more things. Okay, so coming to the PPT. Okay, so in HTML, everything we will call it as a tag, TAG. Okay, tag. Okay, so there will be self-closing tags and open and closing tags, non-self-closing tags. Self-closing tag means starting and ending will be within the tag itself. For example, you can see that here we have a tag called meta tag. I will explain you what meta tag is when it comes when it required to explain. But as of now, you can understand what is self-closing tag. So self-closing tag is a tag where it will close itself. There will be no opening and closing tags. Okay, you can see here meta tag has starting this thing and then closer by itself, right? This is the meta tag. Okay, there will be some other tags. Okay, there will be some other tags. For example, I am just going to create input type. Type will be number placeholder, enter one number. Okay, you can see here. So this is the input text field, right? So this input is also a self-closing tag. You can say this. Just reduce the. Okay. So here you can see this input is a self-closing tag. Like meta is a self-closing tag and input is also a self-closing tag. So self-closing tag is nothing but it will close itself. There will be no starting and ending tags for that point. Okay. So I have just created an input. No need to understand it what this input, all these things we'll discuss later. Okay, so this is the self-closing tag, and you can see here there will be some other tags, right? It is having opening point and it is having the closing point. Okay, so these are the non-self-closing tags. So there are a lot of tags which will be the non-self-closing tags. Okay, there will be some other tags like self-closing tags. Uh, So B tag is not a self-closing tag. Okay, I am just going to use B here. You can use this to B. Okay, B is not a self-closing tag. So B is nothing but making the text to bold. If you want to make some sort of text to bold, we will use the B tag. Okay, so these are the non-self-closing tag and this is a self-closing tag. This is the very basic difference between the self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag. So non-self-closing tag will be having the opening tag and the closing tag. Self-close tags will have only the that itself will have the opening and closing itself. Okay. So now here you can see there is something called the doc type. Okay. So this doc type means it represents the type of the document it is. Okay, it represents the type of the document. Which type of document it is? We have mentioned it as the HTML. So it represents whenever your this particular web page loads in your browser. So your browser will read the complete data. All complete data your browser will read, right? So while reading that, it will understand that the complete data whatever I am going to write, it is a HTML document. I am going to read the HTML data. So to make it understand, we should have to write the document type as the HTML. Okay, next you can see this. You will be having a tag called HTML. So if you write something outside this, it will not understand. Your browser will not recognize. So each and everything, whatever you are going to design your website, that must be there inside the HTML opening and closing tags. Okay, so HTML tag is the very major and important tags where your complete data is going to render in the browser. So for example, you can see if I wrote something here, hello world. Okay, so here it is loading, right? When you what you call when you loaded your complete web page into the server, on that time whatever you have written outside the HTML, that will not recover, that will not what you call understand. Your browser will not understand, it will not recognize the data whatever you have written outside. So because we are running the complete web page in the local, I will tell you what is local and what is the main server. So local is nothing but we are making the website, we are doing anything in our computer only, right? Someone cannot, other people cannot access through their systems or through some other place whatever we are developing. You can see here it is running in the local server. Okay, you no need to know about much more this, but just know what is the local server means, uh, where we are going to run a particular server inside a particular place, in a particular place itself. Outside that place we cannot access. That is called as local. Okay, so here you can see in local itself it is using some sort of this is a local host IP address. Okay, earlier we have discussed, right? Google.com means some IP address will create. So same like that in your local browser also, local machine also, some IP address will create, and this represent the port. 5500 is the port. okay, in which port your particular website is getting running. Okay, so coming to here again, coming back, HTML is the main tags where your complete code is going to design. Okay, so inside this HTML there is something called lang, right? Language means which language? Lang means language. We have mentioned it as English. Okay, so the complete content that we are going to write inside the browser, inside the website, whatever we are going to design. So we have mentioned it as the English. Okay, let me tell you HTML attribute. HTML lang attribute. We will go to the Mozilla developers. I just wanted to show you there are different type of parameters that we can pass for the language attribute. Okay, uh, something called France language global attribute. We go here. So okay, so here you can give any type of language where you are what type of language that you are going to implement your website. So okay, so these very simple things will not make any difference in our local machines. When you loaded your complete code into the server, then these things will make a lot of difference. Okay, so if you open the website, whatever the language that you are providing, your website will open and rendered in that way. Okay, if you mention some sort of Arabic related content, okay, so Arabic or Urdu will be written from right to left, right? So the complete format and structure will get different, right? So those type of things will make difference when you load your code into the server. Okay, someone asking some sort of questions. Uh, tell me once. Tell me please once. So what's the difference between self-closing tag and okay, I will tell you. The data or address given in meta tag that where will store and why be given. I will explain. We have so many languages there, but we can use English language. So many different style languages we can use at any time. Okay. So first I will explain what is self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag, and then I will answer about the meta. So please do not raise the hands. It get difficult for me to cancel every time. So okay, so self-closing tag is nothing but the tag will close itself. There is no starting and ending points for the tag. So for that example only, we will be having a meta tag, and we will be having input tag. So this type of tag, there are a lot other tags are there. While we are discussing the tag about each and every tag, we will discuss about those as well. What is the input tag and what is meta tag? Meta tag is a complete different session we will be having. I'll just give you the brief about this. So meta tag is something where it will be very much useful for the SEO. SEO is nothing but search engine optimization. Okay, so for that meta tag is very useful. I will tell you what is SEO, how to optimize it. Okay, meta tag is a completely different session. No need to worry about the meta tag. Someone asked about the meta tag. You don't need to worry about the meta tag because it will take so much time to understand. So before that, you need to understand what is SEO, search engine optimization. Okay, and how to do that you need to understand, and then only we can use the meta tag. Okay. Not only for the SEO, we can use the meta tag for some other usage as well. With the help of the attributes that we can mention in the meta tag, we can use it for some other usage. I will explain about the meta tag in a separate session, so not now. But just a basic is mostly we will use the meta tag for the SEO, search engine optimization. In interviews also, you will get a lot of questions related to this. What is the meta tag? What is the use of the meta tag? Okay, and about SEOs also they can ask. Okay, so this is about the meta tag, and yes, about the self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag. If it is non-self-closing tag, it will be having the opening tag and the closing tag. I hope it is clear. Shall we proceed further? So there lot of languages will support in the HTML. You can mention, but you have to mention the proper what you call parameter, proper format for the particular attributes. Properties must be proper. Okay, to know that how many, what are the language properties that we can mention, you can just refer the this what you call developer website, Mozilla developers website. So from there we can find out a lot of things. But just these languages and all very silly things. Don't ask this type of thing. But it's fine if you are asking. Some technical you can ask. We are some educated people, right? So ask technical things like someone asked what is meta tag. That's good. I can also explain. So the basic very things. It's fine if you are asking, but know what to ask, please. So okay. So now coming to the HTML tag, we have explained, right? I have explained, right? What is the HTML tag means? So your browser will understand the complete data, whatever the website we are developing, that completely is there in the inside the HTML tags itself. The complete website design must be there inside the HTML tag. It should not be there outside the HTML tag. If you have declared something outside the HTML tags, in the local machine your browser can understand, but when you load your complete code into the server, so server means, and you have purchased some sort of website www.abcd.com for example. If you have purchased that one, on that time when it is rendering outside that data, whatever you have mentioned outside HTML, it will not recognize. So when we are developing the data, whenever we are developing or designing any website, our complete design must be there inside the HTML. Clear? So here you can see that there is some sort of tags called header tag and head tag and body tag. So head tag is something where you are going to mention the main header related data of your website. For example, you can see here, let me open this separately. So you can see here some sort of name is called document, right? That means this is your website title. For example, if you open google.com, if I open Google, you can see here Google, right? You are able to say this Google and some sort of icon, right? This is your title of the website. All these things we should have to mention. That means all the header related things. As I said, the meta tag, search engine optimization, and all those things also you should have to mention in the header tag. This is the head tag, right? So complete header data of your website, like what type this thing, name of the website, okay, and icon for your website, and a lot other things that you can mention inside the head tag. Okay, for example, if I am going to mention here sample basics one, I will just mention basics one. I save. You can see here basics one. It was changed to basics one. So this is my website name. I will tell you how to load this image later, but as of now, the basic things will learn. Okay. So this is the use of the head tag. Okay, I will write here. So all header properties of the website will be declared here. Okay, so in HTML, if you want to write the comment means a comment will not render in the browser. Comment is just for user understanding what it is. Okay, so if you want to write any comment, so you should have to open this in this way, and you should have to close in this way. Okay, for HTML. And for CSS it is different, and JavaScript it is different. So we'll discuss while we are discussing those things, how to write the comments in that. So for HTML, you can remember this: the opening tag will be like this and closing will be like this, so that it will recognize it is a comment. Okay, so now coming to the body tag. So inside the body tag only we are going to design your website. Okay, whatever the design that you want to do, that complete design must be there inside the body tags. Okay, so I'll just remove everything. So complete website design must be there inside the body tag. Okay, now let's discuss a few very useful and basic tags, header tags. What is there in our syllabus? Let me say this, what we are going to discuss. So we'll discuss about the header tags, buttons. Okay, we'll discuss about the header tags, paragraph tags, that means text tags. So if you want to show some sort of text in your website, so there will be some tags called header tag, paragraph tag, and with the help of the span tag we can show the text on the websites. So header tag, we will be having different type of header tags, for example, you can see h1. H1 is a header tag. Okay, so H1, it automatically is having some what do you call font size, weight and all. Weight means bold or normal. This is the weight. Okay, size means how much what do you call, whether it is 12 pixel size or 20 pixel size, that represent the height. Sorry, font size. Okay, so while we are discussing the CSS, we will discuss there are a lot of other things: font family, font size, font weight. Okay, so all these things are there that we will discuss in the CSS. So now you can see here I'm going to write header tag 1 and save. See, so like this we will be having h1 to h6. So I'm just going to 3 4 5 6. 4 5 6. Okay, so you can see the difference of different type of header tags. So h1 tag, size and weight. Okay, font size and weight. H2 tag, I will change here as well to 3. Here it will be 4 5 6. Okay, so you can see the difference. So based on our requirement we can use whichever the tag that we want. Understood? This is the basic thing about the header tag. So now let's see the paragraph tag. Okay, so paragraph tag we will use the P starting, and this is not a self-closing tag. Okay, paragraph tag, it is having opening and closing tag. So it is having the opening and closing tag. So you can see the paragraph tag, tag content, how the your data will be look like inside the paragraph tag. And one more thing that you need to remember is, for example, if I give lot of spaces here, okay, if I give lot of spaces here, if I save, sorry, I have some other this thing. So if I save also, it will remove the spaces. If I give a lot of spaces also, it will not render that many spaces. Okay, your browser will not render that many spaces. So it will render only one space. If the data is there after some sort of content, it will show only one space after that. If I give so many spaces here, you can see it will not render. But if you want to give more space, how can we give that one means you can use, there is a special tag called, okay, NBSP, non-breakable space. If I give more, you can see it has been went, right? If I give more NBSP, it will go more. So NBSP is nothing but the non-breakable space. Okay. So we are exclusively, if you want to mention more space between word to word, we can use in the same sentence, we can use NBSP. Okay. NBSP stands for, right here, in you have to mention and symbol NBSP, non-breakable, non-breakable space. Okay. So used to provide more space between the elements exclusively. Okay, I'll just give some example here using in NBSP to provide extra space. Okay, so here I'm going to provide extra space. You can see the extra space has been created because of the NBSP. So you can give here as well. Okay, if you give that, it will come two lines, extra two lines will come. How many NVSB that you are mentioning, that many NVSB spaces will come. Clear? This is the how we can use the NVSP for providing the extra spaces at any place between any properties. So okay, there is one more tag for the text which we will be using more, span. This is a span. Okay, it look like the paragraph tag, but where we will use the span tag means, so if you want to show some sort of content inside the paragraph itself, okay, so on that time what we can do is we can use the span tag. For example, if you want to show some sort of content here, and if you want to give some little bit styling for that one, uh, uh, if I want to show, I want to show extra data with different style. Okay, extra data with different style. What we can use is we can use the span tag here. wherever we need to define some other style, so we can use span tag inside any tag. Okay, so for this we can provide some style. So now I'm going to make something. No, don't worry about the this style attributes. Font. Okay, I'm going to give font weight. Okay, so if I want to give only, for example, if I want to give the complete style only for this particular show, we can provide inside the paragraph. We can use the span tag. I can, and then we can do anything whatever we want. You understood? So this is the major and main use of the font. This span tag. So about the style, don't worry. I just have given to make it difference than that one. Okay, we will discuss about the styles, all these things, the CSS session. Don't worry about it. Now we can understand the tags, how to use the tags and all. Okay, these are about the text related tags. Okay, so now coming to the buttons, how buttons are very important in any website. There will be a lot of buttons. For example, if you open the Google itself, you can see this is Google search. I'm feeling lucky. These all are the buttons, right? These are the buttons. How can we create those buttons in HTML? If you want to create any button, the HTML tag name itself, it is a button. Okay, creating buttons. Okay, so in HTML we will be having button tag. Okay, submit, search data. So you can see, so here I'm just going to provide a non-breakable space, so it will come into the next line. No problem. Okay, so here you can see the button, right? So about the design and all we'll do later, but you can just learn, just know this. If you want to create a button, we should have to use the button tag. So button tag is not a self-closing tag, so there is a opening tag, the opening and closing tags for the button. Okay, so these are the very basic things, how to show the text on the website and how to use the button, not how to use the button, how to create the button. How to use the button I will discuss later, don't worry about it. Just know about the tags whatever we have discussed. Okay, we have discussed today the complete structure of the HTML, how the structure or the skeleton of the HTML will be, why do we need this type of structure, what is the doc type, and what is the head tag, what we will mention inside the head tag. Okay, and what is the body tag, what we'll mention inside the body tag. About the header tags, for showing the text there will be different type of header tags, h1 to h6, how to use that, what will be the difference between this h1, h2, h3, h4 and h6. And we have discussed about the paragraph tag and the span tag as well, right? And finally we have discussed about the button tag. So this is the basic things you should have to know. And about some other tags, how to use inputs, first we'll discuss. It will be very interesting inputs. So there are different type of inputs. So what are the different type of inputs? Because for example you can see here in Google, this is the input, right? So input means user is going to enter something, so button is also type of input. Okay, button is also a type of input. So here you can enter some text, and some numbers, some special characters, all these things, right? This is a type of text input, right? So there will be different type of inputs, how to create the inputs, all these things we'll discuss in the next session. So if you have any doubts related to this session, we'll I will clear those doubts. I think someone texted. How to identify self-closing tag and non-self-closing tag? How do we get know it? So, Firas, indeed, when as of now, whenever I'm going to discuss about the tags, so I will tell you which one is the self-closing tag or which one is the non-self-closing tag. But when it comes to the versions, maybe in upcoming days we will get a new version of the HTML. Okay, they can introduce some other tags, right? So we should always have to refer the website, official website, to know what are the latest and new tags that they have been introduced, and what in out of those tags which is the self-closing tag and which is the non-self-closing tag. So we should have to refer the official documentation. Then only we can understand the type of the document, type of the tags. Asma, I haven't explained how to use the Git because it will take time. So, according to our plan, it will be having a separate session for understanding the Git. So, what is Git, how to upload the code, and how to create the website. So, we are going to create our final project, right? So, our final project website also we are going to create in the Git itself. Okay, so we will what you will do in the whatever the design that you are going to develop or whatever the idea that you have. So guys, please think about from now we can think about analyze something. Okay, so design, you should have to analyze the design or some sort of website related thing. For example, if you want to submit a project like e-commerce website, website means it will be like Flipkart, Amazon, Alibaba, any other type of websites. If you want to create something like that, think about the design, what needs to be there, what I want to show. Okay, or else if you want to create some sort of management system related thing, college management or health management or something related to that, what data should be there, how can I create the website like that. That means the functionality, what functionality you can think about it. So later at the final, after completing all the modules, we'll have some other sessions to discuss about the project submission, project development and all. So there we will discuss and we'll create. So after creating the complete UI in the local, we'll deploy the complete thing into the Git itself. So when you deploy into the Git, we are going to create an URL. Okay, for example, you can see here web.techprofessionaltrainings.com/new mms/live. So like this type of website we are going to create from the Git. So you can give this website, you can just submit this website to your college. That is more than enough. They can just go inside the website and they can see the complete code, complete design, whatever you have done. All right. Any other doubts, guys? Any other doubts? If you have doubts, please let me know. So, uh, as a learners, you will feel like we have learned very less. Will like need to learn something hurry burry mode, right? So don't worry, don't make yourself like that, because if you start from slowly, then only you can understand everything. If now itself, if I said if I teach a lot of tags about the input tags, form tags, table tags, everything, you will get a lot of confusion. Okay, in one class it is you cannot understand. I can teach but you cannot understand. So that's I have planned the complete what do you call these things in a proper way. So don't worry about that one as well. And also I got some sort of suggestions like uh, explain the things in Telugu. But yes, I can explain, చెప్పగలను. బట్ కొన్ని వర్డ్స్ ఏంటంటే చెప్పడం కష్టం. సో ఏదైనా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా ప్రాపర్గా రావు వర్డ్స్ తెలుగులో అయితే. సో అందుకనే ఇంగ్లీష్ యూస్ చేస్తున్నాను. బట్ నో ప్రాబ్లం. మీకు ఏదైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే ఇంగ్లీష్ కొంచెం డిఫికల్ట్గా అనిపించినా సరే మీరు మెసేజ్ చేయండి. మీ డౌట్ ఇంగ్లీష్లో టైప్ చేయకుండా తెలుగులోనే టైప్ చేసి అయినా సరే మీరు మెసేజ్ చేయండి, నేను రిప్లై ఇస్తాను. మీరు ఎక్కడైనా ఫీల్ అయితే ఈ పర్టికులర్ టాపిక్ మాకు తెలుగులో చెప్పండి అని, నేను ఆ పర్టికులర్ టాపిక్ అయితే ఖచ్చితంగా తెలుగులో చెప్తాను. సో డాక్ టైప్ అనేది మన బ్రౌజర్ ఏంటంటే చూడండి, ఈ వర్డ్స్ అనేది ప్రాపర్గా రావు, సారీ. సో డాక్ టైప్ విల్ మేక్ యువర్ బ్రౌజర్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ what type of the document I am going to render. Here I am means the browser. So what type of document that I am going to render in the browser? So there we mentioned the doc type as English, right? So మనం ఎప్పుడైతే డాక్ టైప్ అక్కడ ఇంగ్లీష్ కాదు HTML అని మెన్షన్ చేస్తామో సో అప్పుడు బ్రౌజర్కి అర్థమవుతుంది ఓకే నేను ఇప్పుడు HTML డాక్యుమెంట్ని రెండర్ చేస్తున్నాను. రెండర్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ లోడింగ్ ద వెబ్ పేజ్. ఓకే, ఆ బ్రౌజర్లో మనం మన ఒక వెబ్ పేజ్ అనేది లోడ్ చేస్తున్నామంటే దాన్ని రెండర్ అంటాం టెక్నికల్ వర్డ్స్లో. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో అందుకని మనం డాక్ టైప్ అనేది HTML అనేది మెన్షన్ చేసాం మన బ్రౌజర్ అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోవడానికి. ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఫైల్ వచ్చేసి అంటే ఆ పర్టికులర్ డేటా ఏదైతే ఫైల్లో ఉందో డాక్ టైప్ కి కింద సో అదంతా HTML డాక్యుమెంట్ HTML ఫార్మాట్లో ఉంది అని బ్రౌజర్కి తెలియడానికి మనం డాక్ టైప్ అనేది యూజ్ చేస్తాం. క్లియర్? ఎనీ అదర్ డౌట్స్? So if you don't have any doubts guys, we'll wind up the session. So in tomorrow's session it's a interesting topic about the inputs and some sort of basic about the forms also we'll discuss. Ensure that you guys have attended the session on daily basis. So